Hello everyone. Today I am going to show you startup on how to use the P6 Professional. So what is the Primavera P6 Professional? The Primavera P6 Professional is one of the most widely used critical path method scheduling and portfolio management applications. It is a project, program, and portfolio management tool that is used for planning, managing, and executing project. It is designed and developed to handle small and large projects. What is good thing about the P6 is that you will be able to create 100,000 activities in a P6. Today, I am going to show it to you how to navigate P6 Professionals. I will be showing to you the navigational toolbars, menu bar, standard toolbars, and the views for the P6, including the table, the chart area, and the detailed view. To start with, we are going to look at the EPS or the Enterprise Project Structure. This is different from other software for scheduling like the MS Project. It is a built-in that allows you to save right away into the program itself. This is different from the MS Project in a sense that in the MS Project, it allows you to create a folder to where you will be able to save different projects. In the case of the Primavera P6 Professional, it allows you to create multiple projects in one Windows. First, you have to create the EPS. The Enterprise Project Structure will serve as a folder for the project. And once you created the EPS, it allows you to create a project, specific project, which will serve as a project summary for the project. And then you will be required to set up the WBS, or what we call the work breakdown structure, which will serve as the activity summary task in MS Project. And from there, it allows you to create activities under each of these WBS. So first, you have to create the EPS. But before we do that, let me show you the navigational toolbars, the menu bars, and the standard toolbars. Once you launch your Primavera P6 Professional, it will show you the default windows, which will comprise three different areas. We have here the entry tables, we have the chart area, we have the detail areas. First, let's take a look at the menu bars that is located at the top, which are divided into the file, edit, view, project, enterprise, tools, admin, and help. In each of these tabs here, it allows you to show the pull-down menus. These are also functions that you can find into the navigational toolbars and into the standard toolbars. On the left side of this screen, this is what we call the navigational, as well as also on the right side of the screen, allowing you to toggle back and forth to the different functions of the Primavera P6. Particularly on the left side navigational toolbars, we have this icon. We call it the projects. We have also here the resources, reports, and tracking. In addition to those particular groups, you have also here the activity navigational toolbars, WBS, and of course the resource assignment that allows you to toggle back and forth to show those different areas, activity, WBS, and even the projects. And as you activate in each of these function here, you will be able to see them on this particular area. So for now, I able to activate the activities and the project. And when you click these two blue box, it will also activate that, and you will notice that it will also shows the tabs on the headings or on the top. The other one is the standard toolbars that you have here. This allows you to also navigate and activate those different functions that you want to apply into your project. So first, for you to be able to start your first project, you have to create first the EPS. And that EPS should shows into your project tabs. So for you to be able to add an EPS, as I mentioned a while ago, the EPS serve as a folder to where you will be creating different projects underneath them. Now to add that EPS, which is a folder, as I mentioned a while ago, you have to go into the Enterprise tab, and then you have to go into your EPS, the Enterprise Project Structure. So when you click that, it allows you to add some EPS through this dialog box. We call it the dialog box. For you to add an EPS, what you do is just click the Add button, click that, and it allows you to enter a new EPS name. So I'm going to name this CNBD 2335 Fall 2023. And you could also create a shortened versions of the name. So you have CNBD 2335. In my case, I'll just put the entire name. And you will notice here that every time that you add an EPS, it creates a hierarchy, because that's how the Primavera Professional is being created, creating a hierarchy of folders and projects. So in this case, because I originally created a CNBD here, if I want this to be a first level EPS, what you need to do is just click this arrow to the left, so that it will move that and align that to all of those enterprises in the level 1 categories. So once you created that, what you do is just exit out, and you will notice when you activate your project on your navigational toolbar, you should be able to see now the one that you created. In my case, I created this CNBD 2335 Fall 2023. So if you expand the column, you will be able to see that particular EPS. So what does that mean? Through the EPS, it allows you to create multiple projects under that particular EPS. Again, as I mentioned a while ago, the EPS serves as a folder to where you will be creating or saving your different projects. So with that, you will be able to create a project underneath the EPS. So to do that, you can go back into your pull down menu, and under the enterprise, you should be able now to create a project. So you can just go ahead and click that, or from this one here under your EPS, you should be able to use the right navigational toolbar. You will be seeing that the plus sign on the right side of the navigational toolbar, allowing you now to add a project. Or you could also right click your EPS, and it allows you to add your project as well too. Either way, you can right click, or you could use the right navigational toolbar on your right side and click the icon plus. So if I'm going to click my add button, it allows you now to add a project underneath. We have this wizard, which you can turn off if you wanted. Okay, under the file options, to where you will be able to create that particular project. All right, so in our case, our default selected EPS, because I right click that particular EPS that we created by making use of the wizard. So you could click new, and then you could create project one as your EPS, and you can specifically put a project name. So you could do illustrative example, and then click next, and it allows you to enter a specific project start. So let me just change that with the maybe the Monday of October 23, and then click select, and then you could specify when will that finish, but we will let the computer to do the calculations for us as we add all those different activities, durations, and their predecessors. Then click next. That is the responsible manager. It allows you also to create that if you wanted. You could add a bottom, and you could name that particular responsible manager through yourself. In my case, I just leave it that way, but you can also add your specific name into it. I'm going to make use of the standard rate that is being built into your Primavera P6 Enterprise. Otherwise, you can modify them later on as you add all your resources. And then click next, and you're done. And then just click finish. And now you will notice that you already have that particular project onto your underneath your EPS. All right, so before you move on, let us just check. Just like in MS Project, it allows you to set into an auto schedule. And where should you go? What you need to do is just go into your menu tab. So we have here your schedule option, and it allows you to again, I went into your schedule here, or you could also go into on the you should be able to go into the tools and then go to the schedule options. You will always have at least two possible ways for you to activate your functions in Primavera P6. So in my case, I use this icon here on the standard toolbars. Click that, it allows you to activate the dialog box for schedule. And on the options, you can click that, and you should be able to find that on the general, and find that says here schedule automatically when a change affects dates. So make sure that is checked so that it allows us to make that the computer to calculate our schedule. So all right, so then just click schedule, and then yes. So the next thing you have to do now is to check the other customize units or any preferences. So to do that, what to do is just go into the edit tab, click that, and then you will notice on the user preferences at the bottom on the pull down menu, click that, and it allows you to modify or customize according to the requirement for the project. For the time and units, it is in hour for unit of time, and for the unit of time for days, you could also change that. Instead of day, you could do week, month, probably for a larger project that takes probably more than 3 years or 5 years, such as for civil projects. Then you could also customize some other like dates if you want them to have the day first, the month, and the year, or you could also do it month, day, year, which is the most commonly used here in the US. Now, you could also show the time if you want it as an options, but in my case, I just leave that to not show the time. The next one is the currency, depending on the locations of the project and depending on the valuations. You could change that as well too by clicking this radio button on the right, and it allows you to change those commonly used currency units around the world. And if you want to change it, make sure that you have to use that plus sign to be added, or to recognize that that particular unit of currency that you're going to use. So in my case, I'm going to stick with the US dollars. And there are several other things. If you want to have the wizard activated anytime that you add a project, anytime that you add an activity or resources, you can activate them by checking those boxes. Okay, and you can also add password if you want to have your project to be password protected. And several other options that you have: resource analysis and calculations. So once you customize it, what you do is just exit out or close it. So again, for you to be able to customize your preferences, what you do is just go to your edit and then go into the preferences. All right, so the next thing that you're going to do now is to set up a calendar. So where should you go to set up a calendar? So what to do is go into the Enterprise tab and then go into your calendars. So navigate all the way to the middle part of the pull-down menu. You'll find there the calendars. And from there, click it, and it allows you to add a customized calendar by using this dialog box. In my case, I am going to select project. Otherwise, if you want that to be available to your future project, you may need to use the global. Otherwise, if that is only specific to that particular project, you could click or select the project options. And once you get there, you can now create the add button. Click that, and it allows you to select options, 5 days a week, 10 hours options, or you could just do the traditional 5-day work week, and click that add button. It allows you now to add under your project. So we have here now your project 1, if you want to name that calendar, or whatever that specific name that you want. Once you rename that, the next thing you have to do now is to modify. So what's the purpose of the modify? That is allowing us to declare a specific non-working day, such as those non-working holidays. So what to do is just click modify, and it allows you now to select a specific day to where you are going to declare a non-working. Say for example, in the case of November 23 as a Thanksgiving holiday, so you could select that, and you could make it as a non-working. So you will notice that it's shaded as well too. Otherwise, you could also modify the working time if you want them to work even in a Saturday. If you want them to work from 8 to 12, you could modify that as well too by going into changing the work. All right, so next one is December 25 as a non-working as well. And then January the 1st as a non-working as well too. And then the first, the second or the third Monday of January is also a non-working holiday. That is the Martin Luther King. All right, so that is where you are going to add those non-working days in your calendars, and then just click OK, and then close it. So once you create the calendar, you need to make sure that you assign that particular calendar to your project. So how do you assign that calendar that you just created? So again, where I'm at is under the project tab. If you don't see that project tab at the top, what you do is just click this folder on the left side. So navigate into that project to which you are working on, and make sure that you have to go into the default tab, and then on the default tab you will see there your calendar, and then click that radio button, and it allows you to find okay, your calendar in there. If you don't see it, you may need to click this display, and if it's showing up there to be global, make sure that you select the project calendars, because that's where we selected and create the calendars under a specific project. And then click the plus sign, and you will notice now that you have there the project one calendar. All right, so the next thing you have to do now is to build your activity summary task, and that is through your WBS. So what to do now is go to your project, and then right click that to open that particular project. Open it, and it goes into your specific project now. Next thing you have to do now is to activate your WBS. Under your WBS, this one here, it allows you now to add your specific project into that particular WBS. Say, for example, let me create a all right, so let me just add one WBS. So again, you can use this plus sign here, okay? And then name that as your WBS1, say planning, okay? And again, as you notice that every time that you add, it create a hierarchy and developing that level 1, level 2, level 3. Make sure that when you create your WBS here, and those things that you're adding it into your WBS are all level 1, make sure that you're going to outdent them and align with the rest of your WBS. Say, if I'm going to add additional, I'm going to name this as your mobilization. And you will notice that it's creating now a level 2. So for you to be able to move this as a level 1, on your right side navigational toolbar, it allows you to outdent it. So by clicking this arrow to the left, and you will notice that you have here now your WBS aligned to one another. So if you're going to add an additional WBS, click that and add again, say for example, excavation and earthworks. And again, it went down to the level 2. So make sure that you're going to outdent that by moving it into the right side. So, and then probably add one more, concreting. Sorry. Concreting. And then just outdent that, goes to the lab. And now, if you need, those are, again, all of these are your summary tasks. This is different when you create MS Project, allows you to build in the project summary tasks, the activity summary tasks, and the activities, like a level 1, level 2, and a level 3 in that one particular window. In the case of the Primavera, you have to build those separately. So if you're going to add your activities, what to do is to activate your activities tab here. So when you click this one, you will be able to see now all of those WBS that you created. And you will notice that you have those repetitive. For you to refresh that, what to do is just press F5. So again, if you want to refresh and make sure that there's no duplications on those WBS, what you do is just press F5. And it will clean it up, and it will show us exactly what we have in each of those WBS. So again, you are in the activity tab. It's now showing you your WBS. So what you need to do now is to add your activities underneath them, And to add that, make sure that you are under each of those WBS that you created. So what you do is just click add, and it allows you to add that particular activity, say financing, okay, as the first activity. And then you could add again underneath it. So probably permitting or developing plans, okay, developing plans and permitting as an example. And then go to your mobilization now, add that particular activity, say for move in, that is moving in all your equipment, or probably job trailer setup, job trailer setup. And then next is adding your temporary utilities. You could add here now your temporary utilities on the job side. And then next now into your excavations and earthworks. That is your summary task. And then click add, and then probably here grading and layout. And then add again. You could add your say general excavation. All right, so make sure that when you add a specific task, make sure that you add them into the specific WBS. The good thing for the Primavera P6 Professional allows us to group them and add those activities to a specific summary task, or in the case of Primavera, the WBS. Then the next thing you have to do now is to add the duration in each of those activities. And by the way, if ever that you don't have the specific column that you need in this particular chart, what you do is just go into this particular icon, or perhaps probably right click it and add columns. So say for example, if you don't find the original durations or predecessor or some other requirements that you need, what you do is just click this icon, and it allows you to add a particular column, and also add arranging your column as well too, depending on how you want them to be arranged. So in this particular case here, if I'm going to put my predecessor near your original durations, what you do is just go and select that particular item that you wanted, and then click that arrow up in order to move up and put it into the right locations that you wanted. Now we have several options here. If you cannot find those particular column that you want on the default view, what you do is just find them in each of these. You could expand them, okay? These are collapse groups. And if you want to add a specific, you have to uncollapse them and find that specific column that you want to add. So then once you selected, say pre-float here, and click that button to right to be added. So if you want to put them after your total float, make sure that you highlight that particular item to where you want to put that particular column. So in my case, I'm adding it after your total float, and then just click OK. So it will arrange now. And the next thing you have to do now is to add your duration into it. Move in, I probably put 2, and utilities for 1 day. Grading and layout, let me just put 2 days. General excavation, 3 days. So the next thing you have to do now is to select the predecessor. Say for example here, if I go into my activity develop plans and permitting, assuming that we already secure financing, what I do is just click this one here, and then you should be able to use this particular dialog box to assign their corresponding predecessor. In my case, I'm going to follow your financing. Make sure that you click the plus sign. And then I have to go into the move in after you have all the permitting. So click this and then add it. And then go to your temporary, follow your move in, click that, and then grading and layout. Probably after your utilities, temporary utilities, click that plus, and then go to your general excavation, follow your grading and layout. So that's how easy it is, and you will be able to see now those Gantroid. And notice that we have those connectors as well too. Now, there are several other ways that you could also add the predecessor. You could also use by dragging a specific task into using your Gantt chart and connect that into a specific task as well too. Okay. All right. So that is how you start your project. And you have also here the logic relationship. If you don't see those connectors, you should activate that by pressing this icon at the top. We call it the relationship line. For you to navigate into the network diagram, we have here the icon for them. That's the Gantt chart. This is the activity network, and this is the relationship as well too. Now, by the way, I failed to mention that at the beginning. As you launch your Primavera P6 Professional, there will always be three different areas. We call this the chart area. We call this the chart area, and this is the detail area as well. Now, if you don't want to see this one here, you may need to click this icon at the top, and it will change those details as well too. Okay, but it always have three different areas that you will be navigating into for the P6 professionals. All right, that's it for today.